Good afternoon and welcome to the International Press Center. My name is Peter Krause and I work here at the Press Center. I'm happy to welcome Rita, who has joined us, I believe, from Portugal online, and also to the photographers and journalists here in the room. We are a select little group today, but nevertheless, we've been looking much forward to having, in the run-up to the election, an introduction from the party Alternativet, the alternative, is the translation. So we'll kick off with a presentation from the two candidates that are with us today. And then after that, we'll open up for questions from the room and also online. But I think I'm not going to say much more other than we are very glad to see you here at the Press Center. So Jiesper and Jan, candidates, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So yes, good afternoon and welcome. And Rita, bem-vindo aqui. Estou trabalhando na Universidade de Lisboa, então falo pouco português. So I was just saying that I also work as a climate researcher at the Lisbon University, so it's wonderful to have a Portuguese press here as well, and also welcome to you. So we are from the Alternative, which is the Green Party in Denmark. And in our opinion, Denmark don't need more fear-based politics. We need visions. When people have visions, it's easier for them to cope with change. And we need change today. We need sustainable change. And we are the party, the only party in Denmark who has real politics on a green transition. So we have some blind spots, the politics today. So we burn global forests from Amazonia, for instance, United States. We burn more forests than we have in Denmark. And a forest takes like 20 or 30 years to grow up again, which means it's not climate neutral. So we need to focus our investments in the climate transition in a wise way. And how do you do that? By combining human beings, science, and politics. So we need to include humans so the transition is just, but we also need to include science so we have effective solutions. So one solution is to phase out biomass and invest in technologies that we know already, like heat pumps, solar, wind, geothermal, like the deep heat from Earth. And also we make investments in animal feed, but we know that the cow will never be climate neutral. So we can use our money better. Next thing also, so healthcare and care, like taking care of each other, is like an important point for us, especially to build up like a new index. We can not only focus on being GDP, we need like another index, like Bhutan have, like happiness index or thriving, how good we are in taking care of each other. So in that way, investments in care are also investments in a sustainable transition. So science show that when you have a good healthcare system, when you combine culture with healthcare, those two sectors, people get happier when they do activities together, when they have a community. So that's part of it when we talk about care. And science show that when people have communities and they're happy, they attend the doctor less frequently. So we can also save money on in the healthcare system, because symptoms are people can digest symptoms like better if they are happy. So that's the simple message. And then Also agriculture, that's maybe where we distinguish ourselves mostly from other parties. So we have the pig pact. We want to reduce our export of pigs, which is 10 million per year. It's polluting our drinking water. The agriculture sector is the only sector who hasn't reduced CO2 and methane and N2O emissions since 1990, which is the baseline for IPCC and the UN. So we need to look both at this pig production, this industrial agriculture. We want to scale down, have local production that, like small farms that connects and bring life to the rural areas. And of course, we need to prohibit the use of chemicals in those 15% of the Danish area that protects our drinking water. So today, 55% of our reservoirs, they are infected by pesticides. And it will be 50 times more expensive to clean that water in the future than to make a prohibition of chemicals today, pesticides. Will you take over?
Yes, thank you, Jiesper. Thank you, Peter. Thank you to IPC for the invitation. I'm very happy. I'm looking forward to being here to present some of the international issues that Alternativet also is covering. Alternativet and myself, is actually believing in the future, believing the future for the international cooperation, despite all the things that is going on in the world. We still believe. We believe in a rule-based international world order, a world order where the bully cannot just do what it pleases the bully, a world order where Putin can't just take out and attack Ukraine, a world order where the US, United States, cannot carve out Greenland from our country and I believe, an alternative belief in democracy, global democracy. We believe in the UN, but also in reforming the UN. The UN is called the United Nations, but what about the citizens? To unite the citizens. The Alternative is a green and progressive party who looks for alternative ideas, also when it comes to foreign affairs. We believe in the EU. We believe that we need to stand together in the European Union. When you have a US, when you have a Russia, when you have a China, when you have a world order which has been broken down, so the bully decides everything. Then we need to cooperate together, stronger and more steady in the European Union. That also means that we need to be faster and better to make decisions in the European Union. But we will not forget that it is a rule-based world order. That is what you call the platform for the European Union. If we not stand together in the European Union, if we do not stand together in the international society, we cannot cope with those crises that we stand upon us. It's the climate change, that we need to cooperate together to solve those issues. It's a crisis of democracies where you see dictators, oligarchs take power in the rest of the world. If we do not stand together, they will decide. So this election, also in Denmark with 6 million citizens, is important. It's important to show, not just for ourselves, but also for the rest of Europe, that some people actually still believes in an international order which is based on rule. Thank you.
And I would like to add one thing about that. Super nice. Also humanitarian support. So we want to engage in the world. We want to invest in all parts of the world to connect and co-work instead of having a fragmented world. So it's important for us to create like relationships with African countries, Asian countries, Latin American countries, like all over the world that need our support, or we can benefit also from supporting them by creating relationships.
Thank you, Jiesper and Jan, for the presentation.
Welcome.
I'll just now call out here in the room to see if there should be any questions. And also I know Rita is with us online. So I've written to her in the chat if she has a question. But I think we'll start with Osama to hear if there's a question from you.
Yes.
Please.
My name is Osama Al-Hababi. I'm from Jordan News Agency.
Mhm.
Well, I'm interested in asking about your foreign policy, Alternative. Question of two parts. What's your stand in the party regarding the Israeli war on Gaza? That's one question. The other, the US-Israeli war on Iran. So two-part question.
I think we can answer with one sentence, like we are.
I think
we are against.
both wars are illegal.
Yeah.
That's I think I know that the International Court of Justice has not decided yet, but I think it's apparent for most of us that the war on Gaza and the war in Iran is illegal. That's not the same as saying that, for example, in Iran, that the government there it's not a government that we like. It's more like a dictatorship. It has suppressed women, but still there is international rules also for engaging in a war, and the US and Israel has not complied with those rules.
And Israel has violated also the rules of war in the Gaza conflict. Maybe it's a little too early to say about the Iran conflict now, if they have made any violations. So we are not pro at all.
Well, I have a follow-up question. I mean, that's what you're saying. One of your colleagues, Sina Winnebert, is having different opinion about what's happening in Gaza. And she's accusing the Palestinians of starting the war.
Well, Alternative is a party which is relatively high to the ceiling, along to the door. Sina Winnebert is a quite new candidate in the party, and I can say that that is not the party's official policy.
That's an individual statement, which is allowed to have, but it's not the party's policy. Yeah.
There was a terror attack which was terrible, but I think you have to understand the history in the Middle East and in Israel, Gaza. So I think that must be on Sina Wenneberg's
account.
Yeah.
Was that satisfying?
And that's
I mean
that's what I expected. I mean,
okay.
You will not criticize her.
No, I mean we are a liberal party, so we tolerate individual opinions as long as they also state that it's my opinion, not the party's opinion.
So what she said is not the party's.
No, it's completely the opposite. Yeah.
I think then with that, thanks for the presentation. We are very glad to see you here and hope to see you again on another occasion. On behalf of all of us, I think we'll wish you a good campaign and a joyful election night when we come to the 24th.
Thank you.
So on behalf of the International Press Center and all of us, thanks a lot.
Thank
you. Thank you for being here.